Man, where do you even start with this? This is something wild. So we talk about the manosphere a bit, okay? Like right wing, like kind of internet daddy, kind of like incel fuel. I don't like to throw around the word incel very much, but for the people who typically like talk about this, that's the word that you'll hear very often. Those aren't my words, just so you know. But like the incel fuel, sort of like internet daddy to like lead you to help get a bunch of like people who are like, fatherless and fatherless. They don't have a good family foundation or something, or like or like a connection that makes it easier for you to like to understand people and that type of stuff. Like disenfranchised people, they flock to guys all across the internet who fill in a void that like either family or growing up has left in their life, that brings them in and gets them to watch and gets them to pay money. People that you may know about this, I would say honestly, people like Alex Jones, he plays into that a lot. It's really good to make you feel like you know more than other people. You're privy to information that other people are not. So that conspiracy thing is really big for people who don't feel like they have too much going on themselves. They get roped into stuff like that. Jordan Peterson does this a lot. He's like almost explicitly, he talks about this type of stuff with like the disenfranchised guy, and how men are doing incredible things, and he's crying all the time, and he's talking about how like society really disenfranchised men, which I think can be very true in some instances. I think that can be incredibly true. I mean, guys face a lot of difficulties as well. That's why we have our Antidote podcast. We talk about that too, like about how this can really be like a massive issue. You'll see people like Stefan Molyneux did this a lot. It reminds me a lot of like Steve Bannon as well. So Steve Bannon, Stefan Molyneux, Nick Fuentes, these types of people, Richard Spencer, and you may be noticing a pattern with the type of politics of these people. These people go, like Steve Bannon said specifically what he did is he went to like incel boards and boards of like a bunch of guys who maybe like neats, who don't have like too much going on. He'll go to them and then like tell them that the world hates them, everybody hates them, nobody cares, and they're just sitting in like a pit of darkness, and he's the only one who's going to reach his hand down and help them because he's the only one who really cares. Right. And his ideology is what's going to really, show them and stuff like that. It's cult tactics. It is unironically cult tactics. You go to vulnerable people who are easy to manipulate, and you rope them in with telling them that they're going to be that you're going to care for them, that you're going to help them, that other people won't, and other people won't care, and you have information that could help you get to that level. But it usually comes with a caveat, and the caveat typically is more like right-wing traditional type of like politics that leads you down some pretty bad paths. And you'll very clearly see that a lot of these types of people who do this type of stuff, they do it for a lot of money. Fresh and Fit does this as well, right? And so I would posit honestly that the same thing that brings like the Nazi boys or whatever, like the young, edgy, like 4chan, whatever, like Instagram meme page boys, to people like Nick Fuentes and like Richard Spencer and these like right-wing outlets and people like that, and Steve Bannon and like Trump even, is the same exact thing, well, near about the same exact thing that brings like black people who watch a lot of this stuff to, Kevin Samuels, to people like Fresh and Fit, to people like that, because they're feeling a void, right, for things that could be lost. And that could be like many things. That could be you don't know where to go in life. You could be like lost. And we talk about it all the time, like how like masculinity is being like being reformed but hasn't been put together. Right. And you like find outlets for things that could be wrong and for how to fix this. And when the left hasn't done like a good enough job to actually fill those voids, people fall into traps like this. Right. So the question is, why are we talking about all of this? Well, the reason is because one of the internet daddies has actually passed away. He has died. Yesterday, there was a lot of talk around Twitter about a certain man dying, and that was Kevin Samuels, a very specific one. Kevin Samuels, who we're going to be talking about today. Kevin Samuels, who runs the Kevin Samuels YouTube channel for 1.4 million subscribers. He was a big force. He was a big force on YouTube. Okay. And so he had a lot of content that went pretty far into the type of stuff that we were like talking about. You'll hear a lot of people in like the sort of like manosphere talk about similar things like modern women bad, hookup culture, giving women unrealistic standards. If you're a dude, you must be like high value. You can't be fat and ugly and like whatever, small pee, no money, stuff like that. If you want like a high value woman, it's really like materialistic stuff along those lines, and like talking about things like evolutionary biology for why people act like this and that, and for why like we must understand like the traditional roles and how it's important stuff, stuff along those lines. Okay, you see like a lot of his like most popular stuff is content like he brings a delusional woman on to talk, and then the woman is like, hey, I have like 3 kids and they all have different dads, but I want a guy to love me. And he's like, what the fuck? You're average. On your best day, you're average. You look like you want a man who's gonna take you to a steakhouse? You look like a steakhouse. How they gonna serve a steakhouse in a steakhouse? You fat, ugly bitch. So he'll have like content like that, right? Like the classic one, you're average at best, full interview, right? He had Tommy Lauren on. Tommy Lauren, men are trash. What women can learn from her. Stuff like this. What women can learn from people like Tommy Lauren. Danger Zone. Diva wants it all. Now, my ex pays my bills. Interview with I guess this person. We are educated and make money. Why do we need men?
This meme is very real.
Stuff like this. This is sort of like what they like to call it is sort of like reality check for women and men who have gotten too delusional, who are too feminist or too like uppity about themselves, right? And if you think that this guy has realistic standards, let me tell you this now. No, he is fucking insane. We'll get to a couple of his clips, but to tell you, for like how he ranks, like how people look at the very least, right? Because he does the whole like ranking system. You're like a 1, you're like a 10. He ranked Beyonce and Rihanna. Okay, so just asking. Okay, take a guess. What do you think he ranked Rihanna as on a scale of like 1 to 10? What do you think he ranked Rihanna as in terms of like beauty? Normal answer is 10, but his ass probably said 5. You're close. He said 6. He said Rihanna on a beauty scale is actually 6 because her forehead too big. And he gave Beyonce an 8. He said her hairline is messed up as far as I know. So if you're just wondering what his standards are, what the fuck does a 10 look like? I don't know. So Rihanna and Beyonce got a 6 and 7, 6 and 8 for him, okay? And so yeah, 5 head. And so that's his standard, okay? And so I have to tell you, if you don't think that you're at the because like a woman was like, I think I'm pretty, and he's like, do you think you're as like pretty as you're not as pretty as like Rihanna, and Rihanna's just a 7. So yeah, so if you're wondering if he was like at least like realistic with some of this stuff, no. Absolutely not. So if you're not as pretty as Rihanna, I'm sorry, girls. You're ugly as fuck. I'm sorry. And beauty is one of the only things that women brings to the table. So if you ain't got that, I got some bad news for you. You better start collecting cats sometime soon. What is his list of 10s? Well, he's dead now, so I can't ask. But I actually don't know. I haven't heard that. I heard him talking about Rihanna and Beyonce. I haven't heard that. Yeah, here's just something really quick. Kevin Samuels rates Lori Harvey an 8, same rating he gave Beyonce. I'm not lying to you. I'm not joking. He unironically said Beyonce's like just an 8. I'm not lying. I'm not joking. I'm not memeing. It's okay. You can. It's whatever you want. All right. I don't really care. Right. Like obviously not everybody's going to think everybody is like, as attractive. That's perfectly fine. Just when you're making lists out here, just the idea of these women who are seen as like the pinnacle of the minimum black women's beauty standards, but maximum like just women's beauty standards, to say like these people don't even reach like 10s, like near perfect. It's just, all right, dog. Whatever, I guess. But so he's kicked up a lot of controversy since he's been around. Please stop playing. He started off his channel as somebody who just does consulting. It's his thing where he brings people on. He charges like $1,000 to consult them and like fix their issues and shit like that, right? That was like his big thing. He talked about getting married and stuff like that. Somebody asked me in chat, was he married? The answer is he was actually married twice. He was twice married and twice divorced, actually. So here's what was his content like 5 years ago. His main thing is like teaching guys, whoa, here's like good cologne to get. Here's how to save, stuff like this, right? And then he changed into the type of content that we'll see now with the, women or this, to sort of like dating advice, internet daddy. And that's where he found like his real success. How did he get two women to marry his misogynist ass? I don't know. Like I'm not sure if they divorced him or he divorced them or what. But yeah, I mean, like he got married to them and divorced as well. So I mean, R.I.P. in peace that, I guess. Party of one, says the divorced dude. Twice divorced dude. So anyways, obviously, the person like Kevin Samuels has kicked up a lot of dirt. And last night, as of this recording, there were rumors of him being dead. And when I say dead, I mean dead as fuck. Sort of. He was found unresponsive in his room. They said he died of a heart attack, right, in the early morning. And there were just rumors and everything. And I did some research yesterday to see, like, is this credible at all? There weren't any real like news organizations, like reputable news organizations saying anything about it, right? There were just a lot of rumors and a lot of tweets. And that's like all that we've known. But as the day went on, there was like more and more and more to come out to say that he actually did pass away. How's a guy his age have a heart attack? I don't know. It just happens. He was 56 as far as I remember. So he's not like old or anything. Yeah, 56. Yeah, he's not old. He died like pretty early, honestly. That is quite an early age to die. Same age as my uncle. Yeah, like I mean, he's close in age to like my parents. So, and my parents, I wouldn't consider them old. You know, they're on the later half of their life, but they're not old. I don't think 56 is old. So I'm not sure what happened really. But he has friends, right? And one of his friends is actually a YouTuber. And so there's this woman, Melanie King. And so Melanie was his bestie. All right. She's a family friend. And she made this live stream yesterday called Kevin Samuels Has Died. And it was about 5 hours long. And where she was doing live research and live reporting and calling people up. She has his actual phone number, his private phone number. And so she called him a couple times. He didn't pick up. She called the family. The family was trying to figure out the same thing. So she's like a close family friend. She has their numbers and everything. And so she was streaming about like, because she was hearing rumors that he died. He didn't pick up the phone, so she was worried. So she streamed for 5 hours.
Okay, guys, I just did a live, and someone in the live said that Kevin had passed. And I thought it was just a joke. And I'm thinking that this is still a joke.
So yeah, she's pretty torn up about it. She was quite close to Kevin, and I will say my condolences goes out to Kevin and his fam and his friends and everything. Like, it's never easy to lose a friend. Here's like pictures that she posted of him. She went to his birthday party. That was like last week where he turned 56, right? Apparently he was on Instagram at the time of his birthday and everything. So I mean, it's obviously sad. It's obviously sad that he's gone and everything, but he left behind a speckled legacy indeed. While a lot of people really appreciated him and loved him for like what he did, obviously he had a massive and incredibly dedicated audience. A lot of people did not feel the same, and rumor of his death kicked up a lot of controversy on Twitter. All I can say about Kevin Samuels is that you spent the time, if you spent your time disrespecting people in life, don't be surprised when people are disrespecting you in death. No matter how cruel it may be, the legacy you leave behind will be known by the fruit you bore while you were here. Kevin Samuels died. What will fatherless guys do? What will fatherless guys be looking up to now? Who are fatherless guys going to be looking up to now? A little funny, I have to say. I like that one. Not going to lie. It's a funny tweet. It's a haha funny. I must say. Kevin Samuels is the same guy that said not to believe a child about SA because kids lie. That is definitely something. We will talk about that. I promise we will talk about that. Oh, he was 57. My bad. Not 56. His birthday just came up, so he was 57. Bro, what? We'll talk about it. Kevin Samuels trying to figure out who let women in their 30s with 4 kids into his funeral. I made a little tweeterino. FD made a tweeterino. Kevin Samuels was a black conservative sneaking white supremacist talking points into dating advice, playing on insecurities of black men and black and black women all the way to the bank. That's all I got for now. See y'all soon. And I will say, true. He played a lot of those like angry black women, like thug black guy sort of like talking points to sort of like conservative. I made it. Why can't you get your money up, not your funny up type thing, right? He did a lot of that, like pick yourself up by your bootstraps type talking that like just worsened the divide between like black men and women. Played on insecurities of everyone, like being independent, like not needing no man, like being valuable just because you are I don't need to be like a big breadwinner, I don't need to make like a lot of money or like a leader or like that sort of guy to get like a good partnership. He played on a lot of those insecurities, kind of pushing people back into that like gender role box. He did that a lot, right? He did that a lot. Kevin Samuels made a career off of bashing women and upholding oppression, right? Obviously there's a cherry tweet here. Kevin Samuels and many people are walking around with cholesterol problems, clogged arteries, etc., but think that their body looks good and dandy beneath. I will say, this should say something to the fact that just because you have a flat stomach does not mean that you're healthy, okay? Just because you have like a defined jawline and you have like a flat stomach does not mean you're healthy. Okay, I will tell you that now. Kevin Samuels supporters learning not only did their black advancement Idpol pass away unmarried, divorced 3 times and childless, but also in non-black Kunchi as well. No. 3 times? Yeah, maybe. I thought it was just 2 times. Once again, these are just people posting on Twitter. All Kevin Samuels did was tell broke men and overweight women to be realistic, and y'all acting like he's Scar from Lion King. Y'all are weird. Kevin Samuels made a career off of shamelessly disrespecting black women, stuff like that, right? He told broke men and mediocre faced women. Just so you know, Rihanna is also a mediocre faced woman to Kevin Samuels. So just so we understand where like this stuff is. Yeah, so it's kind of odd to shoot in their range, and people are just happy that he died because of it. Lamau, people like that. I will say I'm not gonna like this tweet because once again, I don't celebrate people dying. It is a little funny, but I'm not gonna celebrate people dying. You're a sick person if you're celebrating Kevin Samuels' death. Me, I will say it is with like the earbuds. I will say it's funny. Okay, it's funny. Yeah, be realistic. Okay. Be realistic. You're like a 3 or 4. All right. If like Beyonce's an 8 and Rihanna's a 6. Oh, heavy, it's Kevin Samuels again. Like a little bit. We're cleaning it up. Fuckboy Twitter on their way to Kevin Samuels' funeral. You're a sick individual to celebrate someone's passing. R.I.P. in peace, Kevin Samuels. Up on Twitter and see a bunch of fat, broke, sad guys and women celebrating Kevin Samuels' death? ? Nothing, never watched the man, but the fact that that man's opinions hurt y'all that bad is crazy to me. He was a whole father. Condolences to his fam. He was not a father, just so you know. He does not have any children. He was not a father, but I get it, okay? You know, Kevin Samuels is a good dude who gave a lot of solid advice. And here's the thing, right? Is because people like Kevin Samuels are the type of people who will post. It's like 2 truths and 1 lie, you know, with the type of stuff that he talks about. And that's what makes people like him more dangerous, is because not literally everything that he says are lies. He has, I mean, not the best, but he has like perfectly fine, like entry level financial advice, like a little bit of like, you know, decent work ethic stuff, right? He said like, I mean, I don't agree with him saying that if you, hello, Boo is here now. I don't agree with him saying that if you don't work 60 hours a week, that means you're lazy. I think 60 hours a week is abnormally high and abnormally incredibly high for like your average person that they just may not be able to do. Just so you know, like 60 hours a week, you're spending more than half your week working. And that's not even taking into account like you sleeping or stuff that you need to get done. Like 60 hours a week for like a poor person that's like near impossible if you're taking care of yourself. It's very, very difficult thing to do unless you have like some other help, with you may or may not have. And I'm not going to say that somebody is lazy just because they're not putting in like 20% more hours than your average American would. Hello, please stop sitting on my cord. Smack. And I will say this. Obviously, people like DJ Academics crawling out of the woodwork to say rip Kevin Samuels and stuff, right? DJ Academics, he's close to Fresh and Fit as well. Rest in Paradise, brother. A lot of stuff, okay? And so, like I said, people like Kevin Samuels, they're dangerous because not everything that they say are lies. And I think somebody who lies half of the time is more dangerous than someone who lies all of the time, for the specific reason of, because he doesn't lie all of the time, when you challenge people who like him, what they'll do is they'll pull up they won't pull up the times that he lied, they'll pull up the times that he told the truth. And then they'll use that for a reason for why he's not really that bad, because there's good stuff in there. And I would say, honestly, it's more like 2 lies and 1 truth than it is for like 2 truths and 1 lie. Because from what I've seen of him is not that good. Okay. He gives like some base level advice that you would get from anybody just like on the street. But the more in-depth stuff that I think that you get to, it starts to fall apart. And don't just take my word for it. We can look at some of the things that he's actually said. Oh, wait, one more meme. Kevin Samuels, you're going to die alone. God. Okay. All right. That's a good one. Once again, I don't celebrate his death. All right. I'll talk a little bit about my feelings. On like everything in a moment. I want to get through some of these tweets first. That was an S tier meme. I do say that was an S tier meme. I do think as well, if I like die prematurely, like at least make good memes about it. Okay. At least make good meme. I won't be here to like regret it. So like at least make a good meme while you're here. You 5 me. Let's look at some Kevin Samuels memes. Okay. Just grow a pair, coward. Yeah, I need to grow a pair of tits. That's what I need. Anyways, misogyny directed at Merrick, never seen it. Couldn't be me. There's this person who likes Kevin. He posted this. This is some of Kevin Samuels' most savage moments. So this is his most savage moments of him completely bodying mostly women, but men as well.
I said if you attracted a higher value man, you think you're going to make him wait until marriage? How do you think that's...
Sweetheart, I'm going to tell you like this. My cookies is worth the wait.
Well, first off, check that, sweet. I know your cookies ain't worth the wait because you ain't made nobody wait. You got 2 kids without a marriage.
And so yeah. That's why people... that's one reason why people really like him. Bruh. Yeah. You can't expect a good guy to abide by, like Orthodox Christian values with not having sex before marriage. I guess you'll never find a good guy who will be okay with that.
The thing is that what works for a couple works for a couple. I can't.
Shut the fuck up, Lonnie Love. I've been wanting to say that for a minute. Shut up. I and men like myself absolutely don't care what your swole up ass has to say about anything. But yet you still find a way to get your big swole ass up here and still have an attitude problem about something. Seek help and...
So yeah, so his big, yeah, he's pretty fat phobic. He's just like swole ass, you're fat, you're ugly. Would you pet a stingray? I already have.
Honestly, if you ranked yourself on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you do? Yeah, let's get back to reality.
No, I'm in reality.
No, you're not in reality.
I'm in reality.
You're not in reality. If you're gonna be a 10, we can end this. Because that's not reality. You're not a supermodel.
So what are you bet?
You're not okay, man. Check the attitude. Let me just go ahead and say this. This bullshit that's running around with black women, they call yourself a 10, never say you don't. That is some of the most destructive psychobabble that's going on.
Psychobabble. I've actually never heard that term in my entire life. His literally only argument is cringe. Yeah, L plus ratio plus cringe. Yeah, kinda. Psychobabble. I hate it when women be typing psychobabble. Honestly, it's probably one of my least favorite memes. Here's the thing that he talked about before. where he like just roasted that guy?
Huh?
You have a big dick?
I mean, it's above average. I ain't know Ron Jeremy.
No. I asked you if you had a big dick. I didn't say it was above average.
I don't know what that is, really.
Nigga, you know if you got a big dick or not. Stop the bullshit. Every dude know whether or not he got a big dick.
I don't. For one, I actually don't believe that. I actually don't believe like a guy knows, like a lot of guys know if they have like a like big dick or not. I do know like we will always like pump up like the size of it and everything, right? But like for like what is a big dick, and it's you know, it's more like dependent on the type of partner that you have, like what dick is big. Because if you like hook up with like a 4'11" partner or like girl or something, she's probably and if you're like average size, like she may think that that's actually pretty big because she's fucking puny. Okay, I don't know if you hook up with like a much you know taller and like bigger woman, something like seven could be like a perfectly fine size, could even still be big depending on like the type of person. I don't believe like a lot of guys know exactly what like big dick is. Like, what do you guys think? Do you think 8 inches is a big dick? What do you let's just give it to chat. What do you guys think? Do you think 8 inches is a big dick? That's a lot of cock. Big is really relative. Yeah, it's alarming. Not just huge. Alarming. 8 inches is too big. Oh, 8 inch. Oh, there you go. The duality. You know what? Wait, let me take a screenshot of that. I love this. The duality of chatters. 8 inches is too big. 8 inches is enough. It's good enough. It's too big. It's, you know, it's how it goes. And you just, honestly, a lot of the times, yeah, I just don't think your average guys just knows, right? Ever hit a cervix? Listen, we don't have to get graphic about me. Okay, size enthusiast spotted. Yeah, size queen spotted. Let's not try. Let's not change it. Okay, everyone who's like, I need it to be really big. You're a size queen. Okay, I don't care if you're a man, woman, NB, or what. You're a size queen. That's what you are. But like, yeah, and I would tell you there are lots of people who would still say that like 7 and 8 isn't like big dick territory. You're still within like the like average range or whatever. And you know what about like 9? Is big start at 9? You know, does big for, I think a lot of people, wait, here chat, you know what? Just throw out a number. When does big start for you for dick size? When does big start? Where you go from average dick to big dick? 12 inches. Yeah, there you go. 7 and above, 20. Yeah, there you go. 6 and 7, 7 plus. Also, where are you measuring from? What you should be measuring from, like, wait, you should be measuring from like the base, right? From where it like, what? What do you mean? Should be measuring from like the base where it meets your body to like the tip of it? Oh yeah, you should be measuring from asshole to tip because that's how long the dick really is. Measure only unusable cock. I don't know what you mean unusable cock. I'm using it right now. It's in me. It's 3 feet long. Yeah, you have to unroll it like a Hubba Bubba roll. Nice one. Proud of you. But yeah, so a lot of people will be like, what is big dick? It depends. Once again, we don't have to get graphic. This is not a Voss stream, so we're not going to be talking about, you know, how big I am. I don't need to listen. We're already all insecure enough. Okay, I don't need to start I'm already on like the internet all the time. Okay, we don't need to start give me more things to talk about talk about with my therapist. All right. So, anyways,
I know I got a big dick. You don't know?
I mean,
you don't have a big dick. That's the point. You don't have a big dick. You don't have a big wallet. You're a fat dude. And you got a lot of nerve thinking you should get choosing signals at 5'10" and 300 pounds, making less than $1,000 a month at 20 years old. And women should approach you. What they get, they don't even get a big dick.
and then he just cackles at him. He's 20, bro. Yeah, he is like just 20. He is like just 20. Shark is breaking stereotypes with a slightly below average dick. You know what? I'm down for it. Shame his height too. Yeah, height and weight and money and age a bit too. And I will say, like, there is more to people than just materialism. There is more to people than just that. I do think there's more to people than just how much money you make. And there are girls who are into like bigger guys, and you could not have that much money and you could still be very happy with your partner. A lot, here's the thing, a lot of women actually don't care about that as much. And this has just been shown in like facts. Just women don't care as much about like how much that you make. You have to at least just be like trying. You have to have like some ambition. But other than that, like women don't take that into consideration like as much. You'll hear from a lot of girls, like they'll be like, it's okay that he's not making a lot as long as you're trying. Shark, pull up the study. I don't have to pull it up right now. But there was a massive survey done on like what women care about mostly, and immaterial things like kind of supportiveness and intelligence.
This
right,
meme is very real.
Are more important than things like how much money you make or even how you look. And women, when they look at things about like how you look, the most important things to them are if you have a attractive smile and if you have attractive eyes, right? And so if you have a lovable smile and you have a nice laugh and you can like, make them laugh and you make them feel important and you make them feel interesting, more likely than not, a girl is going to be like, I kind of like him, right? Well, is that enough to get you like have girls around your arm like all the time? No. Do you need girls around your arm all the time? No. All right. I think you need to, like, most of the time, like most of these guys need to fix themselves before they get a girlfriend in the first place. But I'm just saying that you don't need all of this stuff that Kevin is saying that you need to have, like, to be worthy of a woman approaching you and wanting to date you. You just don't. That's just not how women think with this type of stuff. It's just not how women think a lot of the times. When it comes to looks, guys care way more about that than women do. And they're way more specific than women actually are. If you're able to impress a girl with like who you are, if you get to that point, women are more likely to go from not being attracted to you to being attracted to you once you start talking than guys are. We'll say that much. As people that measured their D size gives me no life vibes. I don't think that's what it is. I think that they're just a guy, I think that if they're measuring their dick, they're literally just a guy. I think that's how that works. I'm pretty sure every like dick haver measures their dick at some point in time, or at least compares it to something. You like put your hand up against it. You put your phone up against it or something. You measure it with like a pencil. Like you don't have to like pull out the goddamn protractor and like dial calipers to get like exact readings and shit. But I think like most guys at some point in time they've measured their dick. Yeah, banana for scale. Yeah, here's this. Yeah, for me, like once again, we're not sharing dick pics. Here's this baseball bat in comparison to my dick. This is for a relative size. My dick does have a size that is relative to this baseball bat. If scaled up, my dick would be the size of this baseball bat. That is true. Anyways, we only have like 2 more clips. Let's watch this one.
Face.
Wait.
Face.
Fallacy. Beauty is not subjective. That's why we have the golden ratio there.
Beauty is objective, not subjective. Okay, so remember that. That's what he said. We have the golden ratio. Once again, any women in chat, you should be listening. This is important.
Fibonacci equation.
That's right.
You can look at
Fibonacci
facial
sequence
and see that.
That's right.
Beautiful people, you can map their facial structure, and it goes to a mathematical calculation.
Oh yeah.
Beauty is universal, and the thing is, we're talking about black women. They are on the opposite end of the spectrum on all ranks. Facial symmetry.
Face.
Dude's just giga racist. Yeah, he's like a couple steps. Yeah, I mean, honestly, he's a couple steps away from like bell curve type shit. Yeah, he's like, yeah, don't worry, we have the Fibonacci, we have the golden ratio to completely prove that if somebody is attractive or not. And black women, they really just don't make it for a lot of reasons. So yeah, that's just shit that he said. That's just normal shit, right? Yeah, let me pull out the my skull measurement tools. And I saved like probably the most egregious one for last, right? I probably saved the most egregious one for last. This is a talk that he had well, here's this person. Kevin Samuels had some disagreeable takes, but this man degraded and berated women all day, calling them useless, ugly, saying that they're old, can't live without a man, stuff like that, right? And here is a clip, and this is the most egregious clip. I will say, if you are super sensitive to like people shitting on like CSA and victims and stuff like that, then this is you can take a minute or so, and you can mute Reno. We'll be over this in a moment. But this is Kevin. This is a mom. This is a mother of a child, right? And her child. She went on to talk with Kevin Samuels, and it got brought up that her child actually came to her and confided in her that that her child was being abused by her ex-husband. Right? She's cute. I do think she's pretty. That her child was being abused by her ex-husband, and through that she broke up with and like divorced that man, right, who was abusing her child. This is Kevin Samuels' response to that.
I question you, why would you not just say, girl, whatever, that's your daddy? Why would you just why would you blow up a marriage? Why would you just believe her?
Why would I just believe my daughter?
Yeah, children lie. Are you kidding me?
Excuse me?
He actually can't believe his eyes. He's genuinely like, your daughter confided in you like several times that the man that you're with is like sexually abusing them. And his response to this is, why not just tell her, shut the fuck up, that's your dad. Stop talking or I'll beat you or something, right? This is, yeah, you trust it. Yeah, that's his response. Why would you break up with your husband because he was abusing your daughter? And this is just who Kevin Samuel, this is just who he is. This is the guy that he was. My bad. This is the guy that he was. This is the man that he was. Right. I'm sorry. I don't want to get any Wikipedia editors angry at me. I'm internally screaming, externally scream too. Yeah, look at him. He's genuinely like shocked that she would like listen to her daughter about being sexually abused. Like, sure, okay, kids have lied about this type of stuff. Sure, that's possible. But to say that every situation is something along those lines, I heard him say this once. He said that, oh, you don't have enough. He said to a guy, you don't have enough information. You don't have an experience with women to be able to talk on them, or like say that like women are all this or all that. Kevin Samuels has no kids. He has no children. He is not a father, except for like fail son black dudes who don't have anything going for them, so they like stake their entire identity on being like a fan of his. Like he doesn't have kids, and you know what? Thank God, that's a blessing. If this is how he expects to treat them, this is peak insanity, dog. For him to say this, and like look at her face, all through this. I completely understand. Like taking this in that your daughter being abused in probably one of the most disgusting ways from someone who she thought that she could like trust with like everything, with her life, put her life in like his hands, and then he went on and did that with her own flesh and blood, with her child. And then he comes on and goes like, why did you believe her? Why didn't you just tell her to shut up? It's genuinely disgusting, without even outside of the fact that, let's even, let's say like it's unverified or whatever. Let's just say that it's just something that's said. That's grounds for at least like taking the kid out of the home and like keeping them with like a friend or something until you figure out what's exactly going on. Like, that's not something that you play around with. If that was happening, then that's something that you should get to the bottom of immediately. This guy is insane to sit here and say that this isn't something worth like a thorough investigation to tell. Like, remember what he said at the beginning of this clip?
I question you, why would you not just say, girl, whatever, that's your daddy?
Her daughter comes to her and says she's being abused, and she says, and his response is girl whatever, that's your dad. That's his response to SA. Girl whatever, that's your dad. Like he has the right to do it because he's her dad? And then here are some people in the comment section, some Kevin Samuels fans. First of all, children lie. Secondly, I have seen a case of 2 daughters who lied about their daddy. Like, I remember I saw a video about this. So, post the whole video. Post the context? Context? What context could, but unless he's saying, and I've looked at this before, okay? I looked into all of this. They go on to talk about it. She leaves the call and everything. It's just like, this isn't the context. Like, what? There's no context that could fix this to say that tell the kid whatever, that's your dad. What are you saying? You're insane. You're insane, man. He is out of his mind. So this is the man that Kevin Samuels is, okay? Oh, my bad. There's one more about, there's one more.
The kind of man you want to marry.
How can I make my child an asset?
To the kind of man you would want to marry. And this is a question all women are going to have to answer for themselves. How are my children benefiting you?
How are my children going to be tools to get into a relationship? That, just so you know, that's what he's saying. He's saying all women with children who are looking for a relationship need to be asking themselves, how can I leverage my child to get a better man? And how could I bring my children as bargaining chips for a relationship? And not just they're a part of me and I take care of them and we're just like a package. It's just how can I use them as tools for this relationship? I don't know. Maybe he thinks that the guy should have been able to sexually abuse the child because that's his end of the bargain. That's his deal. She should have just told the kid, that's why we're able to live here, dog. So suck it up and have fun, I guess. It's actually insane. He's actually an insane human being.
As my husband. And that's
what would you suggest? I'm just wondering because I
would say it's going to be extremely difficult. But what I would suggest is women who actually think about it from the man's side, understanding that my child today is a liability because it costs. So number one, is she well-mannered, well-behaved, smart, taken care of? Does she understand, and do I really believe that you're going to come second to my husband? Is my husband going to come first? Or is it we're a package deal? If you're a package deal, that's no deal.
Good Lord. In a relationship, he's like, you need to put your children second and your husband first. My Lord. And so once again, I will say my views. I said I'd talk about my views. My views. I don't celebrate people dying. To answer the question, am I happy that Kevin Samuels is dead? The answer is no. I'm happy that he's not making content anymore. I'm happy that he can't put out this type of stuff anymore. That's what I'm happy about. I wish that it would have happened. I tweeted about it. I wish that the reason for why he's not putting this stuff out anymore is because of a change of heart and not because of a change in life status. Okay? That's what I wish. Okay? But unfortunately, that's not what we have. And the world is nowhere near as simple as that a lot of the times. And so he died being the person that he is. He no longer can reform himself because he no longer is with us. And so all we have is what he left us with. And it's the same thing when it comes to people like Rush Limbaugh, like the Koch brothers. All right. When they go, what they'll leave with them is the fact that they decided to make the world a worse place for more money and clout for themselves. That's just what they are. That's just what they are. And I wish they would have changed. And I wish they would have. At the end of the day, you have to remember they had all the opportunity that they could have had to change. That man was on the later half of his life. That man was fucking almost 60 years old. Almost 60 years old. The likelihood of him changing a lot of his views at that point in time in his life are so incredibly, astoundingly low. I don't believe that he would have. I would have loved to, and people can change that old. Just the likelihood of it is just low. So he died. And so I can't really even though I'm not going to engage in it, I'm not going to sit here and get mad and start hand wringing over the fact that people are happy that he no longer can hurt people because he's gone. Because that's what he would have continued to do. Am I happy that he's dead? No. I would have rather that he not be dead and just like not make a content anymore. But if this is the way that he's going to be making content, then that's just what it is. It do what it does, Yugi. That's how life goes. It's not as simple as you may think that it is. And so I think, I'm just going to say, for a lot of the people who had nothing to say when he was busy saying that black women are just like, genetically more ugly objectively than like white women and other groups of people, when he says that you are literally a worthless human being if you have no money and you're fat and not super tall and you don't have like a big dick or like fat or like juicy tits or something, right? That your children need to be used as bargaining chips in like attempts to get a relationship, that you shouldn't trust your children or at least take them seriously when they say that they're being sexually abused. Like, this is just what this man is. That's what he put out into the world. And so that's what he got back. I don't know what to tell you. So I'm not going to be mad that people are, moonwalking on his grave. He should have been a more respectable human being if he didn't want people to act the way that they are now. But he had his chance and he blew it. So that's just what it is. I wish his internet sons well, because they're going to have to go find a new dad. Imagine being a fatherless fuck and watching Kevin Samuels and losing your dad twice. Damn. That's some sad stuff right there. I couldn't possibly imagine. Couldn't be me. But, that's just how it is.